growing up in the Philippines, you see passport bros all the time. All the time. It's like normalized. Minsan pa nga pag may ating nakapangasawa ng AFAM, sinasabi nila, isang Pilipino na naman ang nakaahon sa hirap. Pero pag nakadating ka na sa Amerika, makikita mo talaga na hindi pantay ang tingin nila sa atin. Unfortunately, I'm literally holding your hand when I say this. At ang masasabi ko lang sa mga ate ko at sa mga tita ko na mag-a-AFAM dyan, always, always, always have an exit plan. Hindi lang para sa'yo, para din sa mga bata. Relationships like that have a clear power dynamic. You are not in an even playing field. That means we don't have to tolerate it, but we owe it to ourselves to be informed.
Hello, YouTube. It's your boy, the Passport Bro Wingman, coming at you again with another YouTube video. The title of the video is called Passport Bros Have Oversaturated the Philippines. And this is a reaction to the video that you saw at the beginning of this video. Basically, there's a woman in the clip who's pretty much saying that she's, in her mind, she's trying to warn a lot of the Filipinos that the Passport Bros are there. They're literally everywhere, all over the Philippines. People there are so used to them now. It's nothing unusual for someone to say, there's another Filipina escaping poverty with the Passport Bros. And then what she goes on to say is that make sure you have an escape plan once you get to the United States, for you and the children, trying to warn them about a power dynamic and, and all these kind of things. So I just wanted to address her comments and just to start this off, first off, as far as the Philippines go, as we've seen on many channels and many TikTok videos, there's literally Filipinos asking a lot of Passport Bros to come there and dating a lot of women. They're actually inviting us there. We're not just flooding there and what's the word? Like we're not overburdening the people there. They're actually inviting us there. So we actually were invited. We're not intruding on anyone's freedoms and all those kind of things. And according to AP News, most of the marriages to foreigners between like an American man and a foreigner, I believe they said 80% of those, they last 20 years or more for the most part. 75% of them last 20 years or more. And of the 20% or so, 25% or so that do not last that long, I believe they were saying at least half went like 6 years or more. And then it kind of went down from there. But I said to say this, that majority of the time when a lot of foreign women marry American men, they don't leave. I don't know this. There's this false theory that as soon as women get here, they just they immediately abandon their husbands and so forth. All you got to really do is use logic and just think about all the people that have come over the border during like the Biden administration. And even if you look at the people who are in Ukraine that fled from there, that came to the United States or even parts of Europe, a lot of those women, they had husbands, but you don't hear about this mass exodus of women divorcing their husbands, even though their husbands in their home countries didn't really probably made, for example, Colombia, I think the average wage was only about maybe like $200 a month. So even though you got Colombian women who married men who were making $200 a month, when they come to the United States, they don't divorce their husbands. They stick with their husbands. In other countries, they really respect marriage. They don't look at it as a joke. They take it very, very seriously. And when they have a spouse, they try to work with that spouse and try to really build a beautiful, long-lasting, marriage. Versus here in the United States, you hear about people getting divorced left and right. If you think about all the celebrities and how quickly how quick they are just to leave a relationship. Especially for a good example of this is, Tia Mowry. She was married to, I think it's Corey Hardrick. Guy was a celebrity, millions of dollars, built a beautiful family with her, and then she decides just to up and leave him because she got bored. So she left a very good, comfortable relationship and position she was in. She had a guy who was a provider. Most women would say that he's handsome. He had a lot of stuff going with him. She just completely abandoned that just because she got bored. They don't do that in other countries. When they finally find somebody that's worth, marrying to, they try to stick it out. In a lot of the countries, there's a very, very low divorce rate, especially like as this woman talked, literally in the Philippines, it is I believe and someone can correct me right. I believe divorce is illegal. You can't really get divorced there, So most of them, there's literally, I'm not gonna say a 0% divorce rate, but it's like very, very rare. It's very hard to get a divorce there. Um, and then on top of that, any other countries like in Thailand and so forth, very, very low divorce. I'm talking like less than 10%. I mean, it's like very amazing. Even in South America, although people try to point out and say, oh, there's like a lot of single mothers in South America. Yeah, that's true. But when they do get married, the divorce rate is very, very low. They tend to stick it out with their spouse. They don't just get divorced. So this whole thing about they're just gonna, marry you, you come here, they're gonna disappear. That doesn't happen, And as far as like the power dynamic, I mean, just think about this logically. I mean, there's so many men's videos talking about how men get taken to the cleaners in the court system, and so many, like, especially black men, talk about how many times they've been in the United States, their girlfriend or spouse has called the police on them, and the police are coming in there taking her side. I mean, if you just think about how many laws are against males in this country, they don't really, it's like, ma'am, they don't really need your help. I mean, they got the police and the government working for them. They got the power of United States government backing them with programs, feminism, television shows. Everything is in a woman's favor in America. You couldn't get it you couldn't get it any better in any other country than like in America. The only exception I heard, Sweden is pretty bad as well. But outside of Sweden, maybe a few other countries, I mean, it's pretty much a woman's paradise. So for her to come here and think she needs some type of exit plan, it's just ridiculous. So no one is taking advantage of women they get here. In fact, a lot of times, if the woman says she's been abused or something to that effect, I hate to really use that word on YouTube. I got to be careful. If the woman has been taken advantage of or has some type of issue, all she has to really go is go to immigration and let them know, like, hey, I'm getting taken advantage of. This dude's doing this, this, this. They will not send her back. They're not going to send her back. That used to be like a big loophole sometimes that people, thought about, that they would try to exploit, is that they would just say that they got, taken advantage of, and then they could just say they don't have to get deported. But yeah, and a lot of times if the woman is really just trying to get over you, what she's going to do is she's just going to stay in her country and just have you send her money there, and then she's just never going to come back to the United States with you. I mean, that's generally how the quote unquote scam is going to work. So you have that. And another thing about this, she said, like, she's really bringing them some groundbreaking news. Oh, there's a power dynamic here. You're not going to have any power or leverage. I believe they said the Philippines is like one of the most literate countries in the world. They, as far as like reading, schooling, is like very, very good. They're very educated. And of course, they have YouTube, they have TikTok. They can see everything that's going on in the United States. I don't know why they act like the women in these other countries are some remote area where they don't have access to social media and news and the internet. They almost every country, I believe, now has that. Maybe the exception might be North Korea or something like that. But outside of some place like that, most people, they have the internet. They can see all the television shows. A lot of them can use the VPN to access a lot of the same shows that we have here in the United States. It's not this is not groundbreaking. I mean, it's not nothing that they're not aware of. On top of that, just keep in mind, like, a lot of people keep saying that we're getting the upper hand on a lot of these women. Keep in mind that in these women's countries, the men there, they don't make that much. So when the men are dating them, sometimes you might even have it with a woman that taking care of the men. So what I'm saying is, it's kind of a upgrade for the women to deal with a lot of the American men. So when they start dealing with us, to some degree, one can say they're even taking advantage of us, because a lot of them may not like, for example, yeah. So in order for a lot of men to travel to the Philippines, it costs a lot of money. You're talking about sometimes a flight might be like $700, $800. So a lot of the passport bros that are going there, these are guys who are of means, and they're coming there and they're saving a lot of these girls from, put it this way, they're adding an upgrade to a lot of these women's lives, which is why we always say, if you really are a feminist, you should be happy that that a lot of the women are benefiting from being with us. We're taking care of them. We're building strong families with them. We're learning their culture. They're learning our culture. When they come to the United States, they already have somebody who knows about the culture, and we're most of the time going to be in decent areas. So they're not going to come to a dangerous area. They're going to come to an area where they're very taken care of. And for the most part, the housing and everything, the food is going to be a complete upgrade. So So like I said, you can miss me with that. It's just downright silly. Like as we always say before, these are just women who are just upset that they're getting passed over, and a lot of the men who would have been their plan B are heading to the Philippines, Thailand, Colombia, Brazil, and they're leaving a lot of these raggedy women alone. So that's that. So, and then as far as like oversaturation, I say that because there's a lot of there recently was this guy with the World Star hip hop thing. Supposedly his wife waited 2 years until she got her citizenship, and then she just abandoned him and all this crap. So there's a lot of talk now about like, is the whole honeymoon period of Pastor Bros over in the Philippines, where like women there aware of our tactics, and they don't want to be, what's the word? Like, yeah, are we kind of like, have we overdone our stay in the Philippines and that kind of thing? As I keep saying before, one just has to think about, if the Pastor Bros didn't go there, what would she be doing? Like, what type of lifestyle would she have? She be dating a direct one of the guys there who don't really have the funds to really marry her, and as Big Truck Reviews has said, there's this thing there called I think it's shoot and scoop. A lot of guys, they don't want to get married, so what do they do? You know they shoot inside of the women. You know what I mean by that? I gotta be careful on YouTube, and then they just scoot. They leave. So a lot of times they don't even want to marry the women. And a lot of times they don't have the funds to really do it. So as I said before, when I went to Thailand, I actually had a taxi cab driver who was trying to introduce me to his daughter. You would literally go there and have guys try to introduce you to their daughter. There's several videos of black men going to China, and some of the women there are trying to hook them up with their daughters and that kind of thing. They even have a whole marriage market there. So we don't have to beg or manipulate anybody. They're literally asking us to go there and take these women off their hands. For example, in China, they had a thing where like there was a singles event, thousands of women there, none of the men showed up. Because a lot of the men there thought these women are very, very old, because a lot of them were over 27. Whereas a lot of the guys in the United States will date a woman who's like 27, 28, and that kind of thing. So a lot of people there are actually inviting men to come there and take these quote unquote leftover women or Christmas cake off their hands. So we don't have to manipulate anybody. I mean, it's just very silly. So I didn't want this video to be too long. So I'm gonna kind of end it there. You guys kind of got the gist of what I'm saying. I don't want to go into overkill, but yeah, you guys in the comments section, just let me know what you think about this whole situation. Leave your comments. Please share the video, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna try to bring a little bit more, content this year. Happy year. If you guys haven't seen the last video, Happy New Year. Trump just got back into office. That's going to be a huge, many changes this year. Very interesting year. And until next time, this is your boy, the Passport Bro Wingman, signing off.
Dear Passport Boys, dear Passport Bros, stop calling yourself Passport Boys and Passport Bros. Are you going to the Philippines to look for a Filipina queen or what? So stop calling yourself Passport Boys and Passport Bros. Start calling yourself Passport Kings.